What is going on, Trader Gang? Happy Sunday to you guys. It is a new month, new trading week we have upon us. So it's February 1st. So we're going to get into these charts, do a breakdown. So I appreciate you guys popping on. Show some love in the chat, please. Give me a moment while I just make sure everything is good on my end as far as sound and all that. All right. Sounds like we're good. Um, that's where it looked like I froze on my. So weird. How did I freeze? Give me a second, guys. All right. I'm already having technical difficulties. Crazy. All right. Sorry about that, guys. We should be good now. Let me do another quick mic check. You guys hear me okay? All right. We're good. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So let's get into the charts here. So we're gonna check news first. So let's do that. All right. So we got a new week here. All right. February 1st. So looks like we have all red folders every day of the week. That's crazy. So tomorrow, 7 a.m., we have ISM manufacturing PMI. So definitely got to watch out for that. I haven't seen too much movement with that. It might make like a quick or like rejection wick or something like that, but it'll still continue in the direction that it wants to go. So, but we got to watch out for that. Tuesday we have Jolt's job openings at 7 a.m. So we do have to watch out for that. Wednesday we have ADP non-farm at 5:15. ISM services PMI at 7. Thursday we have unemployment claims 5:30. Don't really have to worry about that too much because we try to stick to trading market open or waiting till market open. And then Friday we have NFP. So we got a lot of news. We got average hourly earnings, NFP, unemployment rates, prelim consumer sentiment. So this is a new thing that I'm doing personally on Fridays. I'm no longer going to take any trades. So because I'm trading US30 mainly, so I've done a little bit of back testing. So I've looked at the last couple of weeks, and US30 just doesn't do well on Fridays for whatever reason. Usually gold does very well. It either pumps to the upside or it just sells off. So US30 hasn't been the case. So it either just consolidates or it'll make it its initial move right at market open. So it'll like make a huge push to the upside and then have a huge rejection or vice versa. So we're no longer going to trade on Fridays. So it's going to be kind of like a Monday through Thursday type deal. So that's that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the charts now. So if you guys are new following me on here for the Sunday market breakdown, Last week was not a good trading week for us. We ended up um, blowing one live account and two prop firm accounts. So definitely not a good week. So, but we're gonna go into this week, of course, a lot better, a lot clearer headed. We're gonna kind of focus more on the higher time frame, just for the simple fact that if we even look on US30 here, we've just been in a lot of chop. So just a lot of consolidation. So sorry about that. So just a lot of consolidation. So we need to look for like a breakout out of this area, just because it's just not working. So we need to find like where this currently is. We need to find either a breakout past this area right here. This was actually previous weekly low. So last week's low or the prior week's low, and we need to find something above this level. Sorry, here 49,421. So we need to find something above this level because we're just stuck in this range. So we got to get out of this. So I'm gonna clear all this up. We're gonna go on the higher time frame, kind of do our top down analysis, if you will. So this is for US30. So um, since I'm gonna be doing this on the 50K account, um, I'm gonna do this on my futures side. So, or actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna do this on my forex side. Take that back. Okay. So, because I don't have anything on here, so because we cleared all that out. All right. So here on US30, we're gonna mark up the weekly high and low. So that's always our first go-to. So weekly high was 49,000. So 49,686. So we're gonna do previous weekly high. There we go. And then we're gonna do previous weekly low. So this was the all-time high. So previous weekly low is actually right here, or weekly high, excuse me. So this is the all-time high. So it wouldn't actually be that. All right. So we got 49,507. So that's going to be our previous weekly high. Previous weekly low is going to be right here. All right. So 48,441. We'll do 0. So just so we have an even number. That's going to be our previous weekly low. So we got that. Now we're going to change that to purple. All right, there we go. So previous weekly high, previous weekly low. So this would probably be a little bit lower because we'll see it a lot clearer here. So let's see, where is that? So 49,492.5. So I actually like that better because that's closer to a psychological number. So my apologies, guys. So 49,492.5. So there we go. So because when I go a little bit lower on the time frame, we'll be able to see more supply and demand zones that are a little bit clearer. So we have our previous weekly high, previous weekly low. So like say if we go down on the 4 hour from here, we can see our areas right here. So we got this area right here. So we'll mark that up, and then we have our high right here. So I'll go from this wick to this wick. So again, we're kind of stuck in this range. So like yes, does it look like we kind of have like a downtrend forming? It could look that way. So, but the only way that we're going to be able to validate that is that if price continues to keep pushing further and it doesn't break above this level. If it does break above this level, then more than likely we're going to break out of this consolidation and we're going to continue to see pushes to the upside. So that's what we need to see. So like even if I were to like put another line here, and this would be our trend line, because this is literally like what we're seeing. So I could do it to like right here. So we need to stay within this range. So, or not stay in this range, but we need to break out of this range, either to the downside or to the upside. So, because ideally, what we're trying to look for is we need to break to this level here, and even lower. So we need to basically take out these lows here if we're going to continue to keep pushing down. But we need to get out of this consolidation. So, like, because when we're looking at this, market structure wise, like, what is price doing, right? It came up, rejected. It didn't want to go any higher, so it pulled down, and then the market opened. I think Asian session it pushed all the way up, and then it came all the way back up to here. Tried to retest this area here, and then rejected. Tried to retest it again, and then rejected again, and then it just was just a lot of chop. And then it tried to break through it again, it couldn't, and it just kept going down and down. So could this mean that we're going to continue to keep pushing to the downside? Who knows? We have to wait and see what the market's going to do. Because if I were to kind of make this smaller, like what do we see? And this is something I neglected to do last week, so that's why I got myself kind of caught in the chop, so to speak. Because if we blow this up, make this bigger and smaller, and zoom out, like this is all consolidation right here. Like this is just nothing but chop. All right, my bad. So all this is just noise. So we don't have any clear direction. Like we don't have like a pull to the downside like this, a push to the upside. It's just a lot of just chop, just up down, up down. So we need to get out of this first. So until that happens, we're just not going to take a trade. We just need to wait and be patient. So even on the 1 hour here. So what we could do is, of course, we can mark up some highs, some previous highs and then previous lows here. And we need to see what price is going to do, but we need to break out of this chop. We need to get out of this. This is just plain noise. There's nothing there. So as of right now, we don't have a direction of where price is going to go. So like I said, on the higher time frame, could it look like price is wanting to come down? That could very well be, because we are kind of making a higher high, a higher low, a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So could price slowly be trying to push to the downside? Could very well be, but we're still caught in this chop. So we need to wait to see what the market's going to do. We need to break out of this area right here, break below this previous weekly low, and then see what price is going to do. Or we need to break above this level right here. We need to break above 49, let's say 300. So before we even take a trade. So we just have to wait for US30. So that's pretty much it. So don't really have a direction, so to speak, um, for US30. So I mean, of course, if we look on the weekly, the overall trend itself is of course clearly bullish. We can clearly see that. But do we see some like dojis right here? Yes. Could this indicate that, of course, price is having a hard time getting up there and there's not enough buyers to keep pushing price up? Yes. So could we possibly see a pullback here? We very well could, but we need to wait until price breaks below this previous weekly low before we even touch US30. So that's that. So now let's take a look at gold. So gold took a huge dump last week. So it just sold off completely. And it actually tapped into the previous weekly low. So I had already marked this up, and this is exactly where it tapped into. So kind of crazy. So I got messed up on gold last week. I literally was trying to right before this dumped. I was trying to I took a buy position as price was, I think it was like right here, and price did pull back a little bit, and I got caught in that little pullback, and I might have risked a little bit too much because gold's pricing has just been insane. So like if you were to take a trade like on futures, just one micro, it feels like you're doing like $10 a point or something like that. So it's just insane. So just gotta see if price is going to continue to push a little bit further, or if we're going to have a push back up. Because all this really was a retracement. That's all it was. Like this is not like, oh, this is a huge sell off. Gold is not going to go any higher. Like absolutely not. Like gold will retrace back up for sure. Because at the end of the day, gold is a safe haven. So so yes, did we have like on the weekly? Did we have like a huge pullback? Yeah, we did. So, but that's not to say like price is going to go any further down. Like it possibly could, but again, at some point, it's going to go back up. Because I mean, like look at this. Like this goes on for like years, even. Like this is all the way back in 23. Like it's just made a steady incline up. So this is just recently that it's had this huge dump. Like yeah, has it been the first time in forever? Absolutely, but it will retrace back up. So but we're not even gonna touch gold. I'm just doing this just to break it down and for just to see where I feel gold's gonna go, and also to help you guys out if you guys are gonna trade gold. I just recommend just being very cautious because gold is just super volatile right now and it's just uncertain. So I just don't want you guys to get caught in just blowing your accounts and all that stuff. It's not fun. So of course we have the all time high here, and of course this is the previous week. So that's gonna be our previous weekly high, to be honest. So, and that was at 56.02, which is insane. I remember when I was trading gold, when I first started trading, it was at 1,700 an ounce. Now it's almost at 6,000. It's just wild to see. And this is literally just in a span of 4 years. So it's wild what gold is doing. So previous weekly high we have, and then previous weekly low. Make sure I can get this as close to accuracy to that wick. Yeah, that's pretty good. So we'll do 15. So 4681.8815. Previous weekly low. All right, we got that. Now we just drop down to lower time frame. So we'll go to like the 4 hour, so we can kind of see things a little bit clearer here. See our supply demand zones. So we got a nice area right here. I like to always go from the wick to the body. So there's that. Same thing here. Wick to the body. So there's that. Cause see, I can pull this all the way to here, and it's tapped into here before. So we just have to see if price is going to continue to pull any further? Will it come down to these lows here, these lows? So we just don't know. So, but these are definitely areas we can mark up. So not only that, say if we have like I don't use Fibonacci too much. So like if price were to come back up, so price could come all the way back up to here, which again, this actually aligns with a previous demand zone. So we're pretty darn close. So I mean, I could put this at the top of this, which it'll actually line up pretty close. So if we did that, I could put a supply area right here, and that could be if price does respect this area, because we do have a rejection wick right here. If price supports this demand zone, price could easily pull back into this area. So it could pull back into this 61.8 area or this 50% area. So like this is the area here, 61.8 and 78.6. This is kind of like the golden zone. So price could easily pull back into this area. So that's that. But I don't really do Fibonacci. To be honest with you, I just do supply and demand areas. So that could be another area. So that could be like 310. I just like to mark these up a little bit just so you see the actual price point here. Another price point could be right here. So you got 49.67, 485. So I'll just leave that like that. So if you go like down to like the 1 hour, so we can see we pulled all the way down to this area here, which again was another area of demand. So could we easily pull it back into this area, this area, this area? Like these are all previous highs. So price could easily pull back into that area, or could continue to keep dumping. So that could very well happen. But again, we just need to see if price is going to support this demand zone right here. This is a previous weekly low. So like on the 1 hour, so 1 hour, we'd have to see if price pulls at least all the way back up to this candle right here. So we have to fill this candle for us to get a confirmation that price is going to continue to keep pushing up. So this is what I'm looking for on the higher time frame, because we can, like for instance, like this is what I would look for myself. So I'd look on the hour right here. I'd mark up some highs if it does want to continue. So I'd mark up a high right there, high right here. So those would be possible highs for me. And then if there's any lows, we're going to mark up some previous lows as well. So we can mark up an area right here. I have a gap right here also, but we have some areas right here. So this is all where price tapped into before. We have another low right here. So that's what I would look for. I would look for price to break one of these areas, and then you could possibly go down like on maybe the 15 and look for that area to tap into. Feel like we have this low right here. We could even go a little bit further. You can come all the way down to this low. So something like that. So, but we'd all have to see on what price does. So again, price would have to break this previous weekly low, and then like, or even come to here, and then like, for instance, I would take an entry on the 15 minute, you take a short, and then you would target. I'd probably put my stops like right above here, and then target one of these. So you could do like a 1 to 4, because it could possibly tap into this low right here, or even yeah, this low right here. So, and then I would put, of course, we have this level right here of demand. So of course my stop loss would be right above it, and that would be probably like a 1 to 5. So price could very easily tap into there. So if I went like on a higher time frame, that doesn't look so unrealistic. So because we already have a trend going, so we already have all these lower lows, lower highs, and price just wants to continue to keep pushing down and taking out these lows. So that could definitely be a possibility. But again, we need to look for a confirmation that price is going to continue to keep going up, and the confirmation that we're going to need is respecting this demand zone right here. So this is where price has to be respected. So on the daily, you have this rejection wick right here. Price is currently sitting at 47.44 right now. So price needs to continue to push up and fill this candle. So even on the 4 hour here, we need to fill this candle. We need to push up to 48.85. That would be a confirmation right here. We have to come up to this candle and take it out. So until that happens, price might continue to fall. So, but that's pretty much it. So again, gold is super volatile right now. We don't know if it's going to continue to keep pulling to the downside, or if it's going to end its retracement and continue to keep pushing to the upside and take all this back. So we just have to wait and see. So we just have to watch what the market does and react to it. So, but pretty much that's it for the market breakdown, guys. So I appreciate you guys popping on. Like and subscribe on here. I do this every Sunday, so that we kind of get a leg up, or like a head up of where what price could do with US30 and gold. So and just take a look at news and just see what how news is going to affect price. So I appreciate you guys. We will be going live tomorrow morning on the new accounts. So I'm excited about that. I forgot to tell you guys, we refreshed the 50K take profit trader account. So we're going to start with that tomorrow morning. And I reloaded my live account with just $100. So it's a small account, but we're going to try to build that up and take it slow. So we're going to be a little bit more aggressive on the prop firm account, because we want to not pass it in 1 day or anything like that. But I mean, we got to be a little bit aggressive with it. So, but of course, within risk management parameters. So again, I appreciate you guys. I'll be on here tomorrow morning before market open. My other socials are going to be down below in the description. You can follow me on there as well, especially my Instagram, Nikki_pips. That's where I place all my trades, or I post all my trades, so you can see everything. I'm fully transparent, and I'm excited, guys. This is a new month, a new week, new mindset going forward. So we're just going to kill it. We're going to manage our risk. We're going to focus on these A plus setups that we need to look at. If the trade is not there, we just don't take it. It doesn't make sense. Why lose money when we don't have to? So appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the charts. Peace.